Hi,
Yeah.
Justin. I'm recording this so you can listen to it if you want to. Emily said you're not for this, so I feel like I really have to do some convincing here, and that's okay. Um, but so first, tell me a little bit about how Rodan and Fields worked. Like how, just so that you're not thinking it's the same as that if it's different than that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I have to remember this. You got a kit. So you paid you invested like $395 for a kit, like
Okay.
390 for the kit. And you got all the products.
Okay.
In that kit, you got every regimen. And then with that, like as a consultant, you had to pay for a website, and then you had to buy at least $80 worth of product a month.
Okay.
So you're essentially paying almost $100 in addition a month.
What was your website? What was the cost of that? Do you remember?
I think like 20
20 a year, 20 a month.
a month.
Okay.
Everything was like bi-monthly. So unless you are making, which they didn't tell me all this until after I signed up.
Okay.
Like they weren't upfront about it, which was really frustrating.
Yeah.
Like, oh, by the way, you have to buy $80 worth of product. Like after I signed the line, oh, by the way, you have to make
So if you
$80.
don't do $80 a month, and that's like personally, or that's like people?
Yes, personally.
So if you don't do that, what happens with them?
You become inactive.
So then you don't make money if someone buys.
You don't make money, right?
Okay.
So a lot of times, what you would do is you would say, "Hey, I have." Like you get on Facebook or talk to people like, "Hey, I'm putting in an order this month, free shipping, everything's on me."
Okay.
Like, and then they would pay you.
And
You
then you
know,
put the
you would
order
tell,
in. So it
yeah,
looks like you are doing it and you're doing it
but
for your
other,
company.
yeah.
Got it. Got it.
So,
Got it. Okay.
and that was like you could order like samples, like some of the samples you would give to people and stuff like that. But unless you're like making have a ton of clients, and I
Mm-hmm.
think then everybody, a PC, a preferred customer, signs up under you, and they have to buy monthly too.
And what's the benefit for them to buy monthly? They get a discount or something?
Yes, you get a discount and free shipping, but you can halt the monthly buying.
Okay.
But you have to go in every month and say, cancel that order for the month.
So if they're ordering, like, what would they have? So they also, these PC people have to order every month. It's not just like every couple of months or something.
Right. You can order every couple of months, but you have to go into your account and hold off that order.
Got it.
Like if I had to order for October coming up, I would have to go into my account and say, I still have product. I don't want to order in October.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd have to cancel that October order, which nothing happens to your PC. They can cancel, but they have to remember to go into their email themselves and cancel that order.
Did that just like piss a bunch of people off when they like would forget?
Oh, yeah, because they would forget, and then it's on you as the consultant.
Yeah. I do something, I buy hair products, which I haven't bought them in like 6 months because they're so, have you heard of Monat? It's Modern Nature.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
heard of Monat.
Yeah, a girl that was in my unit started doing that basically instead of Mary Kay. And I have to do that. I sometimes order products and I actually hate that system. I think it's super annoying, but I understand the benefit of it. I just, as a consumer, I don't like it, but.
Right. And so then, well, as a consultant with them, I didn't like that because I felt like, oh, by the way, you have an order coming up. Make sure you go in, or you say, I can go into your account for you and take care of it. Just let me know. So then you're adding on to I don't know, additional steps that you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what did you make then? Do you remember what your profit was when somebody would order?
What was it? I don't even remember. I mean, it was good. I probably had 10 people under me, or customers, and I probably was making, when they would all buy, no, they would buy like every other month.
Mm-hmm.
So every other month I was making like 300 when people would like, I forget how many people would order at a time.
Mm-hmm. So with Rodan Fields, like how did they get their product? Like how would they suggest you got product knowledge out to a customer to start? Like, was it just try this? Like, I mean,
throw samples out and then like just talk to people. Like just tell them, yes, buddy, like give people samples, show before and after pictures, all of that jazz.
Got it. And then the average like skincare system would be how much? Like, what would be like the
160 to 180.
Okay.
So it was expensive. It was really expensive, but it works too. Like,
right.
I was using the acne stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and it was working really well for me, which I haven't found an acne skincare that's worked as well as that has.
Got it. All right. That helps me because I think when people go into like a different direct sales company and they're like expecting it to be the same, like Mary Kay is different than most other, and I feel like the whole, what is that called? Like auto ship. That's like a newer thing.
Yeah. Jesse walked in.
Hey, what's up? Hi. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Good to see you over the computer, I guess.
Yeah. Technology, it's so cool.
Yeah, I know, I tell you. All right, let's go get back to it.
Will you get him another applesauce?
Sure.
Thank you.
What's the weather like there today?
Like 80.
It's gonna hit 80 at some point today, but it was like 50 when I woke up, so.
So it's really nice and sunny.
All right, so that's good to know. Mary Kay is very different than this for a lot of reasons. It's like a totally different system. So right. I'll show you really quick. I wanted to get on here so I could like share things with you. So let me pull up here really quick.
Ooh, what's that recipe? Just kidding.
I really am on this like health kick right now. I'm trying to lose like 100 pounds before the cruise I'm going on in 3 weeks. So
really 100 pounds, Leslie?
No, I'm joking. Just like maybe 10, maybe 5, maybe 10. So this is the Mary Kay starter kit.
Okay.
So similar to Rodan Fields, you start off with a starter kit. It's $100 though. It's not $395. So it's, I mean, you get almost $400 in full size product in it though. So you get like the full Miracle set, which is what you've tried with me and use. You get all the CC creams, like all the shades of CC cream, eye makeup, remover, mascara, satin hand set, and translucent powder. And then you get like the trays and the mirrors that you use at the parties.
Right.
Pretty much everything that you need, like to do your first 30 facials, comes in your starter kit.
Okay.
So, so that's like the actual. Like this kind of kicks you off, gets you started with Mary Kay. So unlike Rodan Fields, where it's an $80 a month personal order, with Mary Kay, it's a $225 order every 3 months to keep you active, or you do that one time a year to keep you in the company. So there's a difference in like I'm a consultant and I'm an active consultant. Okay. So anytime that you're inactive, in order to get, and we get a 50% discount. So, so I don't know how that worked. Did you get a discount with Rodan Fields? Like, how did that work for you when you would order?
They say you do. It's like 10% off, I think.
Huh, that's interesting. I never, personally, I don't like the auto ship system because I feel like if at some point your company was like, hey, we're going to restructure, they could literally take all of your customers from you and just cut you out. I mean, I don't know if there's something like legally where they're not allowed to do that, but it always makes me a little bit nervous because they have all your customers like info and they're on this auto ship. And so they could literally cut you out and be like, and we're gonna make all the profit now.
And the discounts weren't that great. Like, I think you can be successful. I know women that are super successful and like high up in it,
Right.
but you have to put in like, I mean, it is like you have to bug people. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you're emailing and texting and messaging like all day. Like, they always say like you have 5 times, like it takes at least 5 hits of somebody for them to start ordering from you or to try it.
Yeah.
And I was not good about like, oh, I want to bug somebody 5 times plus, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
that's just not me.
Right.
I was like, hey, I'm doing this. You want to try it? Let's try it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not good about bugging people.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think with that system. That is like with Mary Kay, like, so for you, it's like your main like entry into the door is to get them to like, I mean, I guess you can give them samples, but you're really like, you have a hard sale up front. With Mary Kay,
Yes.
you have an easy sale up front because you're like, hey, I would love to get together with you, just sit down, give you a facial. You know what I mean? Like, that's the plus of Mary Kay, is that if you're working it, it's an easy in the sense that like they're actually getting something, like just to sit down with you, like a makeup lesson. Like, we're all about teaching. So teaching you skincare, letting you enjoy a facial, and then trying out some makeup, which most women don't really ever have the opportunity to do that. So, and then from there, you know, there's obviously no guarantee you're going to sell something, but when women are trying all this stuff, then they're like, oh gosh, yeah, like I want to, you know, most of the time they're like, yeah, I want to buy this. So,
Right.
Okay, so that's the start. Yeah, I'm going to pull this up because this is like, so with Mary Kay, you get a 50% discount anytime that you either place a 225 order or you're active. So if you place a 225 order in September, you'd be active for September, October, November. And during those months, you could place any size of order and get it half off. So like a lot of my consultants will just keep their active status because they have, like you were saying, you had like 10 customers in Rodan Fields. If you had 10 customers in Mary Kay, they'd probably order enough for you to keep up that status every quarter.
Okay.
But with Mary Kay, it's not an auto, like you can ship stuff to your customers. You can do that. That's an option. But Mary Kay is more inventory based. So it's more like I'm going to stop this share. Like if you look in my closet, like I have Mary Kay, like in my closet, because I have like a whole business built around this. So I need to show you all of that. But, so like I stock the product because when I show up to someone's house and I do an appointment, they're like, I can get this tonight. And then they buy like twice as much. So inventory, you don't have to do an inventory. It's not something that you have to do at all. So again, I have people in my unit that have inventories. I have people in my unit that place 1 order a year. So like I have that range in my unit. So that's like, and some girls start off with an inventory and then they whittle down, or they start off with nothing and they build to an inventory. So I'm not going to lie to you. I started with an inventory, and it makes everything a lot easier, but it's totally optional. So it's not a requirement. So I'll show you though. I've had this pulled up real quick here. I'll show you this. So this is like and these are low numbers. I mean, honestly, at a party, I usually at a minimum will sell $200. So that's like my minimum number. I've been in Mary Kay for a while too, but this is really small print. So sorry, you can't read this.
No, it's fine. That's why I'm like this. So you're seeing my giant forehead.
Yeah. So if you were to do, let's just start off at the bottom here. If you did 1 show a week, which is like a party a week. So a party is 3 girls. It's a minimum of 3 people. Okay.
Okay.
At a party. So you would sell $200 a week. And I think 200 is low. I think your average would be higher, even higher, starting off like 300. But so let's say $200 a week in weekly sales. 200 times 50 weeks is $10,000 of retail sales. If you had 800 customers, which is what you would get from all of these people that you're meeting, And 85 customers, that's only like not even 2 a party that would reorder from you. So that's probably a good average. Like at a party, if you go to a party and you've got 5 girls, you might have 1 or 2 of them reorder from you forever. Like they're not all going to reorder from you, but if you take those 85 customers and they order $200 from you a year, which is pretty low, that's $17,000 in reorders alone. Okay. So that's 27,000 total annual sales from this number plus this number, which gives you $13,500 in profit because you make half of what you sell. So that's
so you make half of what you sell?
Yes. It's the highest you'll make in any direct sales company. Yeah. It's a big number. And a lot of girls, they'll start with, like, my friends will start selling and honestly, Rodan & Fields is a company that I respect because they have the number 1 position in the country for skincare sales, which is a really big deal. Yeah. So I respect Rodan & Fields, and I don't have any issues with them. But there are companies that they give their consultants super low commission, they do 15% commission. And I didn't know Rodan & Fields was low, but that just shocks me because I'm like, I would not do Mary Kay. Like I would not be successful at this if I wasn't making at least 25% commission. Like
right.
There's no point in doing it. So, if you bump up to 3 shows a week, now this is like consistent. Every week you're doing 3 shows, $40,000 in profit. And this is the crazy thing about these numbers though, this is not even including team building. So if you build a team, you make 4 to 26% commission. Like my consultants in my unit, I make 13 to 26% commission every time they order. So the bulk of my income comes from them. And then I'm out still doing parties and stuff. Like I have 2 parties this week, but, my sales are not even as much as my commission for my team. So it just kind of depends on where your focus is. But I don't know, that just gives you an idea. I know you were talking about paying off your student loans. This is the thing to me.
I have 3 years.
3 years. Okay. Do you have any idea how much you have in student loans?
A little over 30. So if I get paid off in 3 years, I get to go to Hawaii. That was my.
How are you going to pay that off? You have any plan?
No. That's
start selling some out of your basement.
I was like, I guess I'll go work at Starbucks, but then we have children, so I don't know how.
This is the thing, Emily. This is the thing. It kills me when people go and start doing a part-time job, making $10 an hour. Starbucks. When you could literally, this is not an exaggeration. You could go out and do a party a week and make $100 in 2 hours. Like Jesse could watch your kids 2 hours.
Yeah. Okay. So tell me this. I'm sure you'll get to this. How do you find these people, Leslie, to do parties?
Good question. So
family,
So this is where I'm at in my business. I find, this is what I do. I put out lead jars. They're called lead jars. Let me see if I can find one. I know I have one in here somewhere. The question is, what have I done with it? All right, maybe I don't have one.
Are you all done? Do I need Daddy to come get you?
Hold on, I'm going to share my screen again. I'll show this to you.
I might need Jesse to come get Tyler. Are you all done? All done? Yeah, okay. We have this new thing where we drop our food on our floor.
That's a fun stage.
Oh, yes. Jesse, can you get Tyler for me? Are you working on the boat? Can you just put him in the boat? Put him in the boat? This is taking me longer.
Okay.
He knew I was going to be on doing this with you, and I told him he'd have to take Tyler. And he's like, I'm working on the boat.
Are you good for me to keep talking? Are you good?
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
I do half my webinars with Harper on my lap, so I get it. So these are lead jars, and so basically they're just these little jars, and I put them in nail salons. So, and where you live, I feel like this would be very successful because you live around a bunch of rich people. Am I right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I always tell my people, my consultants, like, start with your people that you know. I mean, that's where you want to start because that's going to be the most beneficial. But like once you get through those people, if you put these lead jars out, like I have 6 of these out right now. I'm doing an event this Saturday. So I get the girls together. I call them all, tell them that they won a facial and a makeover session, and everybody wins it. So like they think that they're like the only ones, but everybody that entered wins it. And then I just like find really cheap space somewhere and I get them all together. And you can either do like just a facial or you could do like a facial and makeup. You can do whatever you want to. But this is like how funny this is. Okay. So I call these people and I use an app called Slydial. Have you ever heard of this? So I don't even have to talk to them. It goes straight to their voicemail and I leave them a message and because I don't want to talk to people. Like you get crazies on the phone. They're like, why are you calling me? And they think it's like a telemarketer, you know? So, and especially with me, like my phone number is a Pennsylvania number and I live in Ohio. So they like really think I'm a telemarketer.
Right.
So I just leave them a voicemail so that they can hear my voice. So they know it's not a scam. But then I send them a text message just telling them that they entered my jar at blah, blah, blah nail salon. They get a free session for them and up to 5 of their girlfriends. And then this is like the best way I found to meet people. We also will like meet people at bridals, so like David's Bridals and stuff like that. Or do like vendor shows where you show up like to craft shows and stuff like that and put out jars. But this is my favorite way because it's very consistent. So then I go out, pick up these leads, and then like you print this off. I like literally make books of these and I just staple them together. It's very cheap. I buy everything at the Dollar Tree. I make these. So, but this is the best way to meet new people because I like with Rodan Fields, how would you meet new people? Did you have any kind of like system or any?
You literally just based it off like you started with like your Facebook friends or like the people in your community and you just based it off there.
Yeah. And I mean, I still think like with Mary Kay, that's your best bet. But like I've been in Mary Kay for 12 years now. I think you want 2 streams. Like you want the people that you know and you want people that you don't know. Like over here, that's just like that's the most successful people in Mary Kay are those people. And with another good thing about Mary Kay is that when you show up and you're doing like an in-home appointment, let's say there's 5 girls there. Well, guess what? One of them there might sign up to sell Mary Kay, and one of them there will schedule a future party with you. So, and again, it's like the parties, people are like, oh, but I don't want to do a party. And I'm like, look, if you don't want to do a party, like Mary Kay is not for you. If you just want to get yourself half off, yes, you can get yourself half off, not do a party, totally fine. But if you want to be successful at Mary Kay and make money with it, you got to get out and do parties. I mean, that's just, you can't sell Mary Kay online. It doesn't work like that. It's just not, you could sell it just as successfully as you do Rodan Fields, 100%. But again, like if you want to make like real money, like you got to get off the computer and actually go out and do stuff. I mean, that's just, honestly, as dumb as it sounds, like I have so many friends and I've kept in touch with so many people just because of Mary Kay. Like the other people like lose contact with and never talk to. And like I sit at their kitchen table and they tell me like all about their life. So it's actually kind of cool to stay in contact. And then you have people like it's hard for me. It was hard for me to start off doing Mary Kay because I don't honestly know that like I would buy Mary Kay from somebody. Like I'm not the best Mary Kay. I wouldn't be the best Mary Kay customer because I want to buy everything as cheaply as possible. That was like, I bought Clean and Clear and CoverGirl before Mary Kay. So, but I have so many customers that come back and order for me that like just love that someone is helping them with their skincare and they're not wandering through the aisles trying to buy something, you know, and that they can try before they buy it. So like I have a party tonight with a girl who I've gotten together with her multiple times and she just, this last week she was like, hey, I want to do a Mary Kay thing and I want to get some girls together. We just like want to try out some makeup. I need like a new look and I'll get some girls together so I can get some free stuff. And I'm like, Okay. I mean, that doesn't happen all the time where people like ask me to do
Right.
parties, but it does happen, you know? So, and the best thing is that 50% discount. Like I would not, two things, 50% discount consumable product. Like you had that with Rodan Fields where like people saw the benefit, they would reorder. That's really important, you know, to have $1,000 in reorders a month. Like that's what I have, $1,000 in reorders a month. I do nothing for that. If I quit Mary Kate tomorrow and did nothing but fill orders, I would make $500 a month just from reorders. So, and I'm terrible at following up with people. If I was better at it, I would probably make $1,000 a month doing it. But that's like my strength. So I have friends that like that's their focus. My focus is more like team building. I love the team building. Give other women the opportunity. That's kind of my focus.
Right.
I don't know. What other questions do you have?
I had a couple that I was thinking of as you were talking. Okay, so here's a problem that I face. I don't know if you do in your area or if you have other girls that do, but where we're at, especially in Austin, like it's so stupid, but everybody is like chemical free and environmental friendly. So like beauty counter is like the big thing around here.
Okay.
Even like I would say like Rodan Fields is big for like the rich people, but then like and kind of like the older people that don't care about the chemicals as much. But then like for like our age, like the moms I know and the group I'm in, like they're all about beauty counter because it's chemical free and all of that. And I know Mary Kay, you've said, goes off like they follow all the European standards, but they don't promote like that side of it as much.
Right.
So have you had to fight that? Or because I think that would be the biggest obstacle, and also that Mary Kay is an older product. It's like not the new hip thing. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I feel like as far as they're like not the new hip thing, I feel like they've really done a good job of rebranding themselves over the past few years. So like we're in a lot of beauty magazines. We're on the TV, like on commercials a lot more now. So I forget who it was. Marie Claire just featured our new moisturizing stick, like in their catalog or in their magazine this past month. So I feel like they've kind of gotten more into that market. But again, I mean, this is the thing, like you're saying, okay, these people, they have this, you know, preconceived notion about Mary Kay, which I totally understand. I mean, when I went to my first Mary Kay party, I was like, this is old lady stuff. Like, I don't want to go and do something for old lady. Like, I totally know what you mean. But there are so many successful younger girls in Mary Kay right now. It like blows my mind, like college age or younger girls. So I feel like it's more about how you promote it. Like if you're like, I don't know how to explain, like people do stuff to help you out. That's how Mary Kay works. Like it's all about, hey, I need to do 15 facials this month. Can you help me out? I know Mary Kay might not be your thing. Just so that you know, we don't call it chemical free, but we follow the standards of the European Union, which is really important. We have a naturally certified skincare line if you want to try that out. And honestly, like most of these people, I do think there are some people that follow all that like chemical free stuff like to a T. I mean, water is a chemical first off. So when people say chemical, it kind of cracks me up because I'm like, oh, so you don't drink water because that's actually a chemical. I think people need to say like harmful chemical because there's a big difference there. But I think just letting them know that Mary Kay is a different level of quality than what you're getting at the store. Like we don't follow just the FDA regulation. We follow the standards of the European Union, which bans almost 1,400 ingredients. Like the FDA bans 12. So I get it. But there's a big difference in CoverGirl and Mary Kay in terms of what is in their product line. So it is frustrating because it's just all the hype that people just don't understand. They're like completely ignorant and they think that they know what they're talking about when they don't. So yeah, that's and Beauty Counter. I think they're the ones. I think I told you guys this, but I think they're the ones that are like, your skincare hits your bloodline and whatever. I'm like, no, it doesn't. That is not true.
That was the big one. I mean, I think I told you about when I went to a beauty counter party after Jacob was diagnosed, and
Yeah.
the people, it was, they didn't know about Jacob. Well, the person that was running the party didn't know about Jacob. The host did, but
Yeah.
the consultant didn't. And she was saying how all these childhood cancers stem from your makeup. And I was like, no, they don't. Like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, they really don't. Like,
Makeup is like, okay, let's first look at vaccines. Next, we'll look at the food that you're eating. How about like lawn chemicals in the food that you're eating? It's funny to me because I feel like of all the things that we're using, like makeup and skincare to me is the least that you should be concerned about. Especially for your baby, like in your belly. Like, I don't know.
it was just, it was funny. Like, they're saying there's so many ounces of lead in lipstick. And so a woman in her lifetime who wears lipstick wears like X amount of pounds, is putting X amount of pounds in her body of lead. Like,
this sounds like Dr. Oz. Like, this is the shit that he
like,
talks about.
it was ridiculous. And they're saying, well, then that goes and it harms the baby in your womb. And I was like, no, that's not true. Like, it was just so funny to me. And my friend who was hosting the party was pregnant, and she like was so into this, and like, this is how, like, I have to protect my baby from cancer and this and this. And I'm sitting there going, this is not scientifically proven. Like, this is not, the American Pediatric Association will tell you this is not how cancers form in children. Like, through research, this is not how cancers form in children, through the mother's makeup, like her skin.
No, we're putting like aborted fetal cells in vaccinations. I mean, people are just very informed. Like, I'll be honest with you, I do think that pretty much everything that we use on a regular basis has like so much crap in it that like, like, I mean, obviously we're getting cancer from something. And are your cosmetics and skincare potentially to blame? I mean, maybe a very, very minute amount. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, everyone, I mean, Mary Kay's been around for 56 years. Like, the cancer that affects like Mary Kay women is no higher than like, if Mary Kay was causing cancer, everybody that's been in the company for 50 years would be getting cancer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if anything, I would want to be like representing a company that's been around for a while. I don't know. It's interesting. But it's hard. It is hard because you have to overcome everyone's like misconceptions, Yeah.
And I think that is the biggest battle here. Like, that would be the biggest thing, is everyone's so into either Beauty Counter or like Young Living started a new makeup line. Because I use their oil, so everyone's like really either into like Beauty Counter or Young Living as their.
Have you tried Young Living's like makeup or skincare or anything? I guarantee it's absolute crap. Like, I mean, not crap like what's in it, but like, I don't think it's gonna work very well. Like, stick to your oils, people. It's funny because you see that with so many companies, they'll like start off as one thing and then they transition into like the makeup and cosmetic world because they realize it's so lucrative. Like, you can make so much money from selling skincare makeup. So I see that all the time. I feel like Norwex is starting to sell like stuff like that. I'm like, really? Can you just like let that to the makeup? And
I don't really know much about them. People called me after Jacob was diagnosed and told me, we have a great cleaning thing that you would love. It's chemical, harsh free. You would be the perfect person to use this. And I was like, no, we still Clorox everything because we don't need our son to have any germs come in him. Like,
yeah.
We're pumping him full of chemo. We don't really care about harsh chemicals right now.
Right. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's funny. I hope that like the government starts cracking down on things so that we don't have to be so like hyper aware of, oh my gosh, like what's this, what's that. My sister follows this chiropractor and he's like brilliant, but he keeps talking about like soy and how it acts like estrogen for boys. And I'm like, well, thankfully I don't have a boy, so I don't have to worry about it. But like in your plastic water bottle, and I mean, he talks about it like he does like a lecture a month, but he talks about it at every lecture. And how he's so funny. He's like, all these boys, they're weenies now. They're little pathetic pansies. He's like, they can't even pick up a football because they have so much estrogen pumped into them. And I'm like,
No, it's because they're sitting in front of a computer screen all day playing video games.
well, I think, but that's his thing is like, what's wrong with these boys? They just sit around and read Harry Potter and watch and play video games. I'm like, oh my gosh. So who knows? Who knows what is actually causing it? But yeah, no, I get that that's like something that you kind of have to overcome. And I mean, I'm glad that Mary Kay just came out with this naturally certified line because it gives like a really good like skincare option.
So is that completely, I don't feel like anything can be completely chemical free. I feel like it's how the chemicals are processed through and used from what we've learned with all the medical stuff. So is that chemical free, or is it just like, is it more plant based, or what is it?
So I could send you to this, but it's under the Cosmos, so even the packaging is natural. The only thing that's not 100% natural, and by naturally, like there's nothing synthetic in it, like nothing has been made in a lab. It's not organic because organic is like a whole nother level. But so with the exception of the cleanser, which is 99.5% natural, the rest of it's all natural. So I mean, literally, like it's made of like olive oil and beeswax, and
Right.
so I honestly think like natural would be. I mean, if I'm thinking this through right, like nothing made in a lab, nothing that they couldn't go out in nature, bring in and put into it. Do you know what I mean? Like mix it up and put in there. I think. I don't know. This is how much I don't know about it. But when Mary Kay, like, that's what pisses me off, though, is these I mean, you can write all natural on anything. There is no legally you can do that. So that's why we were like, if we're going to bring something out and call it all natural, it's actually going to be on it. Like, we're actually going to go through a third party so that there's a standard behind it, even though we don't have to do that. It's just the way Mary Kay is. They're like really anal about stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, any other questions?
I don't think so.
I keep wanting to pull up this screen to see if there's anything else that might be helpful. I mean, Mary Kay is really big on, I'm sure you know this, but like God first, family second, career third. That's like their big thing. So it really is a faith-based company. Like we pray at every conference. Most of the women that you hear are like, I believe in Christ now because of Mary Kay. If they weren't Christians before they came into the company and they're like high up in the company, they like, I don't know, are now. So that's kind of cool. Let's see here.
What's that family security program?
Okay, family security program right here. So this is if you become an NSD, which is a national sales director. They have a retirement program. So they basically take your top 5 commission checks over your career and they average that out, and that's what you get for the next 15 years of your life. So after you retire, so after 65, that's when you retire. Mary Kay at 65. I mean, it's a pretty high level. Like the women that are national sales directors are making on average $200,000 a year. So they bring in a lot of income, but to be a national, you have 20 directors under you. So my position under you. It's a high position. I mean, it's like the top, I don't know what percentage of the company, but also cars, free cars. So that's like, I have 46,000 miles in my car right now, and I've had it for a year and a half. So I'm really glad that I don't have a mileage limit, but so they pay for my car every month, which is awesome. I get a new one every 2 years.
Do you have to keep up your sales to get a new one every 2 years?
Yes. So now, so how it works is it's basically a leased car that the company pays the lease on, but so every quarter you have to hit a certain level when you have a car, or you have to make up the lease payment. So, and it's like prorated. So if you're not hitting a certain level, you might have to pay like $70 a month or something like that. But it's still, I mean, even at my like crappiest month, it was still much less than a car payment that I would have had to be making. But yeah, so different levels of it, or you can take cash a month if you don't want the car. So that's like another benefit. If you don't want the car, you can take cash. instead. But it's just nice having a new car, like not having to worry about brakes and the engine and this and that, you know. The only thing I do is change my oil. So that's like a huge benefit. You get a car by building a team.
Okay.
So once you have 5 team members, you can go on Target for your first free car. Let me see what else. There's no quotas, no territories. So I'm sure with Rodan Fields, you could sell to anybody in the US. It's the same with Mary Kay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously it's super flexible. The only requirement is that 225 once a year. And obviously starting off with Starter Kit, that's a one-time thing. If you do a website, they recently changed the pricing, but it's either, I want to say it's $30 for your first year and then $60 a year after that. So, so the website would be significantly less than Rodan Fields.
So it's $30 a year for your first year?
I think so. It's either 30 or 60, but I'm almost positive it's only 30 for your first year.
Okay. That's really good.
Mm-hmm. And then you can, if you don't have an inventory, I want to say it's like $6 or $7 to ship the product directly from the company to your customer. You do have to be active to utilize that, like that option though. So in other words, you have to keep up that 225 every 3 months if you want to use that consistently. So that's the only downside of it. But I really think if you, let's put it this way, if you want to sell Mary Kay at all, like, and make a little bit of money, you really want to be active. Like, you want to have that as a focus. If you just
$225 a month in sales to stay active?
No, 225 a quarter. So every 3 months.
Every 3 months. Okay.
225. And that's not your personal stuff. That's anything. Like your mom buys something, you have a party, you need stuff. So unlike with Rodan Fields, well, it was kind of like that because you would get people to pay you and put an order in similar to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the company, with Mary Kay, like a lot of parties, you know how like you go to a party, you buy stuff, you wait 2 weeks, it's shipped to you. Mary Kay's not like that. It's all consultant based. So if you go to a party, you sell $200 of stuff. If you don't have that stuff with you, you order it and then get it to people. So and that's another reason why it's beneficial to have an inventory. So you just like have the stuff with you, give it to them at the party. But yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah. And
then when you order 225, you get $450 of stuff because you're paying 225, but you get twice that stuff. So, which is nice because that's like another way you could build an inventory. If you're placing a 225 order once a quarter, and if you're only selling 225, then you're actually getting double that. So you're slowly building up an inventory that way too, as some girls do.
Okay.
So.
Okay. I just had a question for you. Oh, what's the product that's like most easy to sell?
The product that is easy
that people gravitate
honestly, it just depends. When you're going out and doing the appointments, I feel like the skincare is easiest for me to sell. And but that's because I force the focus on that because that's what I want to sell. I want to sell skincare and foundation because you're not going to go to Walmart or Clinique and find like this same stuff there, like mascara, eyeshadow, whatever. But like skincare and foundation, people will be like relatively religious to using the same thing if they find something that works. So I tailor my appointments around that. Like anything, like I want them to buy that. I don't want them to buy an eyeshadow that's going to last them the next like 3 years and then they're going to forget where they bought it from. I mean, I'm not opposed to people buying anything, but like if I'm going to have a choice, I'm going to direct them towards.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any other questions.
Okay.
I can't think of any.
So now, Jesse, we have to sell you on this. You're listening to this because I'm recording this, so someone's going to listen to this. It's not a pyramid scheme, Jesse. This is why. Let me tell you why it's not a pyramid scheme. In a pyramid scheme, if this were a pyramid scheme and Emily signed up to sell Mary Kay, she would buy her Mary Kay for me, and I would buy my Mary Kay from the person above me, and then the person above them. And so that's how, like in pyramid schemes, just the people at the top get rich because everyone's buying their stuff from a person. Whereas in Mary Kay, Emily buys her stuff from Mary Kay corporate and sells it. And she makes the same commission I make. So she makes 50%, I make 50%. There it is. Even at like your first day at Mary Kay, you make 50%. You're a top national sales director, Mary Kay, you make 50%. So everyone makes the same commission when they sell Mary Kay. The reason that the women at the top get rich in Mary Kay is because they build a team. They build a team, and then the company pays them. So for example, my 60 unit members, when they order a month, they still get their 50% commission, but Mary Kay pays me to help them be successful. So I get 13 to 26% commission off what they order because Mary Kay wants me to work with them and help them to be successful. So Emily, if you built, so as a consultant, and you get bonuses too, but as a consultant, you make 4% commission starting off on your team members. Once you have 5 team members, it goes up to 9% commission. And then you also, if anybody comes in and orders $600 within their first 4 months, you get a $50 bonus. Plus, once you get 3 team members, there's a lot of bonuses, $100 bonus, like you get a lot of bonuses when you team build too. And then you can earn a car. Once you have 5 team members, you can go on target to earn a car. So, and I always say, like, if you're actually out doing appointments, team build, because it's dumb not to team build. Like, you can make more money team building. So I'm always like, if you're going to go out and take 2 hours to do a party, tell them about the opportunity, set up a career survey with me so they can hear more about it and make more money. Passive income. That's what you want as a mom, passive income, so that you have to work less and make more money.
It's true. That's very true.
Mm-hmm.
How many people would you say do you get from a party that are interested in becoming a consultant?
Well, Mary Kay said that there was 1 new beauty consultant at every party. I mean, that's what Mary Kay said. But I find about 1 in 4 girls I share career information with sign up. So if I share career information with 4 people at a 5-person party, then it would be 1 at every party. Like it's more about, people don't just like magically decide they want to sell Mary Kay. Like, right. I don't know how you decided to sell Rodan Fields, but like when you show up at the party, maybe like 1 out of every 10 girls I sign up came to me and was like, hey, I think I want to do that too. Like, that doesn't happen a lot. It's more, they need to hear the information. They need to like make an educated decision after they hear the information, because at a party, they're just seeing a little snapshot of, you know, what's happening. And then they think, like Jesse thinks, it's a pyramid scheme and all this stuff. So you have to explain to them why it's not a pyramid scheme and how you can make money doing it and why it will benefit you. So.
Okay. Do they do like online resources and stuff? I know, like, wasn't it back in the day? Because I remember when you were starting, I think we went to the same party when you started. And you had to go to like weekly meetings.
Yeah, you're the reason I'm in Mary Kay. Shoot, it was your friend that had a Mary Kay party.
Was it my friend?
Yeah.
Who was it?
Gosh, I don't know. We went to like her apartment or her house. I'm trying to think. She was like married to someone that was bringing in silver from some other country. That's all I can remember about her. Maybe she was married to like a pastor or a missionary or something.
I don't know.
I swear she was trying to sell us like scarves or silver or something from some other country.
Super solid friendship. Oh, was it Tammy?
That sounds right.
Tammy and Ryan?
Maybe.
It's the only people I can think of from another country. Or that would have been selling us stuff from another country too.
That sounds maybe right. I don't know.
That's funny. Oh.
I can't remember what she looks like. Yeah. But it's your fault I do this.
But I remember we went to the party together and you were like, I'm going to do this. And I was like, I think I want to do this, but I don't know. And I never did.
Yeah, what the heck? We could be driving pink Cadillacs right now.
We totally could.
Oh, man.
That's funny. where is that going? Oh, so do you still have to do like the weekly meetings and stuff like that?
I suck. I don't even have meetings. I do webinars. So I think weekly meetings are like great, but my girls are so spread out that I do a webinar. So I just do it every other Monday night and it's like 30 minutes long. I did one last night.
Okay.
So, oh,
And
you
is
were
it like
asking,
teaching?
what was that?
Is it training and like?
Yeah. So I'll show
sales?
products. I'll teach on, some business aspect, selling, recruiting, something like that. So yeah, it's better than like it's not like a boring meeting. It's actually interesting. It's like you would want, I have to make it interesting or people wouldn't show up because it's not
Right.
mandatory. So I was going to show you, asked me, is there a, like education wise? So this is Mary Kay in Touch. When you sign up, you get this for free. So this is like a website that's where you would place orders, where you learn information. So yeah, there's tons of tools in here. Like this Product Central, you can go on here and you can search for any, so you can do a product search and you can search out any, like I'll pull up Satin Lips here. You can look at the Satin Lips lip balm. There's a product fact sheet on every single product.
Okay.
So it will tell you what it does. It will tell you the active ingredients in it.
Okay.
It will tell you, like, you can also do an ingredient search. So ingredient myths and customer concerns. I feel like, I don't know why that's not working. I feel like that talks about how we don't have lead in our lipstick.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of companies have taken lead out of their lipstick, so Beauty Counter should maybe retract that statement, but
Beauty Counter
here you can
statements.
Yeah, we have a lot of prizes that you can earn every quarter. Like Mary Kay's like, you don't have to do anything, but if you do, we'll give you these fun prizes.
Okay.
So lots of stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions?
No, I can't.
Is Jesse gonna let you sell this?
Um,
Jesse, just say yes.
So here's the deal. I need to find, not just to pay off my student loans, but I've been going through this thing, you're going to laugh, Leslie, where I'm like starting to get bored because I'm at home. And Jacob started preschool, so he's gone 3 days a week. So it's just Tyler and I most of the time, unless Jesse's home. But I'm a full-time stay-at-home mom. Like,
I don't know how people do it. I will lose my mind. I love being at home with Harper, but like, I don't think I could do it.
Well, so like I went home, I started staying at home because Jacob got sick. So before Jacob got sick and we had him, so for the first 10 months of his life, I just went part-time at the church.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing part-time work.
Mm-hmm.
And they were flexible with my schedule. So I worked whenever Jesse was off. But I always had to be there every Wednesday because that's when we had all of our meetings.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had Jesse's parents watch Jacob. Well, he got sick and our schedules just went out the window. Like we were in the hospital or in clinic multiple times a week. Like I couldn't. And then Jesse's schedule is so, he's 48 hours on, 96 hours off. Like that's just a rotation.
Yeah.
So we couldn't keep up. Like we were falling apart at the seams. And so I was finally like, I need to stop working. Like my focus needs to be our family. It needs to be Jacob's health. So for almost 2 years, that's all I did. Right? That was our lives. So now we have this past year before Tyler was born, it was, I'm going to take a year off. Like my dad died, Jacob got healthy or went into remission. So it was like, I'm going to take a year just to like spend time with Jacob, help mom out with everything she needs. So I was back and forth to Nebraska and just like figure stuff out now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I got pregnant again and I was like ready to go back to work, but I got pregnant. So it's like, well, I'm not going to go back to work yet. And now we're at this point where I'm like, okay, Tyler's almost a year. I'm ready to go back. Like I need to go back to work. I'm like, I'm dying. Like part of me is dying. And I told Jesse, I'm like, we either need to have another baby. Like I either need to have another baby or go back to work.
He's yourself busier.
Yeah. He's like, please go back to work. Do not have a baby. I'm like, I kind of want to see if we can have a little girl now. Like, let's try for number 3 for a girl. And I'm like, part of me is like, that's crazy talk. But I have realized, like, I'm getting, and I hate saying that, but like, I'm getting bored.
Mm-hmm.
Not because of my children, but because it's like, there's only so much house cleaning and laundry and stuff I can maintain and
Right.
volunteering and stuff that I can do. But I'm like, our schedules are so crazy and childcare is so freaking expensive. I can't, like,
It is.
we would have to put them in, at least Tyler, in full-time daycare or like childcare, which has to be scheduled because people don't do part-time childcare around here. So
Yeah.
you're either in full-time or not at all, because people wouldn't go, oh, well, your husband's off this week, Wednesday through Friday. Okay, we'll take Tyler Monday and Tuesday. Like, that just doesn't work. Like,
Right.
we're like, I need to find something to do, like, that's either super flexible with our schedule. Like, I can go in and be like, okay, here's the days this month that I can work.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the days and hours. Or that I can do from home. That I can
There's
be.
something that would be perfect for you. It's this thing, I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's called Mary Kay. I don't know if you've heard of
I
it.
know. Crystal has been trying to convince me, Crystal Santos's wife,
Yeah.
to do VIP Kids. Have you heard of that?
No.
It's where you literally teach English to Chinese children online, like on
Interesting.
video, but you have to be based off Chinese, like the China time frame, and so you have to get up at like 4:00 in the morning. So like from 4 a.m. to like 8 a.m. you're teaching Chinese, or you're teaching English to Chinese, and I'm like, okay, like. I was like, tell me more about this, Crystal, because I'm really interested. Because again, we need to get out of debt. I need to make income,
Right.
and it would just be nice to have extra income. And she's like, well, you can make like $1,000 a month just teaching Chinese children. And I'm like, but you have to wake up at 4 a.m.
That's funny. That's interesting.
So it's very interesting. And I've looked into that too, because I'm like, well, maybe I can even do that like a couple times a week. And I'm like, I'm not going to get up at 4 a.m. That's just psycho. Like,
That's enticing. I don't think I could do it though. I don't think I could wake up at 4.
yeah, it's either you wake up at 4, like the hours are like 4 a.m. to 8 a.m., or they're like super late. Like you would start at like 9 p.m. and go until like 1 a.m. or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's very, I don't know, very wishy-washy schedule. So I don't know. So I'm like, what can I do at home? What can I do?
I'll tell you. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm not the best salesperson. That's why I think where the NFLs didn't work, because one, it was also in the midst of Jacob's stuff. 2, I'm not the best salesperson because I don't like to hound people about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what that was. Like, I don't know. And they had, you need to get 3 people under you by this and this date. And they set like, you have to do this. There's a lot of like, you have to do like meet these goals like every month.
Mm-hmm.
Or I was like, I don't have time for that. I'm not going to like, they use a lot of social media, which is great. I love social media. I love Facebook. I love Instagram. And that's what they really harped on and used. And
I feel like social media ruins me because, not me personally, but like every one of our friends sells something at this point in their lives. So it's like Susie Q over here that sells her jewelry like 1 hour a month, like, and posts 300 posts on her Facebook page. I'm like, really? I'm over here like doing this full time. You're ruining people because now they just check out and they don't want to see what anyone's selling anymore because of those people. But yeah, I don't know. I try not to be like obnoxious on social media. I try to like keep it to a level. But yeah, I mean, I think it's good to have like a social media presence, but I'm not like all day Mary Kay like on my personal Facebook page. You know what I mean? I'm not like, look what I did today with Mary Kay. Look how amazing this is. I say home with my kid, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, nobody gives an F about you and your personal, like, perfect life over here. Like, no one cares. So I'm like, I do this. Like, I don't sit on there and brag about my, like, full-time income I make working 3 days a week, even though that's what I do. But It's like, whatever.
But you do, I like how you have your Facebook page
Mhm.
specifically for your group that you invite people in.
Right,
And then
right.
you do you do Instagram too?
Hmm.
I'm posting.
Yeah, I only do a Mary Kay thing on Instagram because I feel like that's more business based though. You know what I mean? Whereas I feel like Facebook, it's like all your friends don't need to see this. Like on Instagram, I'm like, you can follow me or not. Like I don't, which is the same like similar thing with like a Facebook group. It's like if you don't want to get these notifications, you can take yourself right out of my group. It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, for sure. So what are you thinking? Aside, let's say Jesse's not involved in this conversation, even though I'm recording this for you, Jesse, right now. What would Emily say? What would
I
Emily
don't know, Leslie. I'm torn because like I mean I should have signed up with you 12 years ago in Minnesota right out of college and been like in a completely different place. Like that's what I should have done. I
No.
always tell Katie, I'm like, because we'll talk about it, I'm like, why didn't we sign up with Leslie? Like, what was holding us back? Like,
It's funny.
that was so dumb. We could have had a car by now, like 2 or 3 cars.
I know girls get their cars in 6 months, so
Yeah. So
get into it.
I don't know, like, because I don't look at a lot of like, I like to go based off my gut
Mhm.
with things, and that's where Jesse and I are completely different. Because I'm like, I'm all in, I'm all for it, let's do it. That is my initial response. Is like, yes, I'm just going. I should have done this 12 years ago. I've been praying for the last several weeks that God just gives me something to start that I can have fun with, that I can socialize with, that I can still be the mom and wife I need to be at home based on my own timing. But then there's a part of me that's like, okay, I've tried to do sales before. It's not me. This isn't my thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's like the common practical side of me.
Right.
But then I look at you, like one of my good friends, I'm like, she's successful. Like, why can't I be successful like that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I could do that. I could call a few girls and be like, hey, let's get together, get like 5, 6 of your friends together. Let's have some wine. Let's do some facials. And not.
You're freezing up on me. Must be losing your internet connection. Hello. I'm gonna stop this recording right now.